Recording in progress.
Welcome in to the latest episode of the Betting the Pitch Soccer Podcast. Good always to start a late night episode with the voice cracking. I'm the real _G Warner across all social media platforms. Patreon specifically if you want plays across all sports as the college basketball season is heating up. Saw a 30-plus point victory from Nebraska last night. That was super sweet. I do have a locked-in bet for Friday, December 12th, year of our Lord 2025, which all you early listeners will be able to grab, and I will mention it a little bit later in the show. Also, we'll be putting together a best bet for each of the leagues we cover: England, Spain, Italy, France, and Germany, with an ultimate best bet coming into show. We're 13-7-1, 65% year to date. And I'm going to try to make this brief because it's late and I'm gassed. But I'll be out tomorrow night at the company golf event, which is going to be freezing cold. So I hope it maybe gets postponed, but doing this now just in case it doesn't, and I'm going to get you through some guidance, hopefully across all the major European top soccer leagues. World Cup tickets came out today, or sort of did, or applications did, so you haven't gotten in on that. I shouldn't tell anybody, I guess, because I want mine to get selected, but I suggest you find a way to get one of those codes to be an Argentina fan if you're looking to get some Messi tickets, because I don't know how to do that. Someone does. Hit me up at the real _G Warner across all social media platforms. This podcast, if you're not watching us live, thanks to those of you that are coming in. I want to give you a couple minutes to get in here. It is available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Just search Betting the Pitch at the real _G Warner on YouTube and on Instagram. I forgot to retweet it so that all the people that are following the podcast Twitter, they can see that too. But let's get into it. It's time to start, and we'll start in England, and these are lines I just made, so I'm looking at these for the first time in England specifically. We'll start on Saturday. So this is a recorded in the wee hours Friday morning in the United States, in Dallas, Texas specifically, but we'll cover England, Spain, Italy, France, and then Germany, and then get the heck out of here. So Brighton, they are 3-quarter goal underdogs on the road at Liverpool, which is, maybe the shortest that I can remember Liverpool being a favorite to Brighton since I've been covering the sport. I don't know necessarily that this is one of those numbers that gets potentially bigger, because at +1, I'm interested in fading Liverpool. I've been pretty loud about how they didn't deserve such a dominant win in the English Premier League last season. I didn't expect the sky to literally fall, but it's kind of deserved, and I'm glad it has. Move next. And I guess I will put Brighton on my list of potential best bets for this, certainly, though I would like the full goal of insurance. I don't have that yet. The 3 is about exactly where I made the number, so that doesn't give me a ton of value, but lean to under, because I think that's more of a bet against Liverpool's offense, but at the same time, I'd like to bet against their defense. So I think the Brighton side is probably my bigger interest in that matchup. Move next to Chelsea hosting Everton, and we have Chelsea as only 3-quarter goal favorites here, which feels a little bit, how do I say this? Too cheap. I'm maybe surprised because, or maybe this is surprising because Chelsea played Champions League midweek on the road, all those sort of things. Everton got to sit on their laurels and rest. But, Chelsea squad, they spent so much money on it. It's so deep that I don't know that I'm necessarily so concerned about that. Total in this one is 2.5, and it's juiced pretty heavily to over right now, but far below the number I made. So I'm a little bit surprised how off I am on this number. Clearly, there's belief in the Everton defense or betting against the Chelsea offense. And that does mean something to me. I think I need a full goal of insurance to play Everton on the road, because if Chelsea plays well in one place, it is at their home digs. Move next to Burnley hosting Fulham, as we only have 2 matches at 9 a.m. Eastern time or Central time on Saturday, the 13th of December, 2025. Which means we got a lot coming on Sunday, I'll put it that way. So we'll start with Burnley. They are half a goal underdogs at home to Fulham, almost on the juice on that side. Actually, -114, only dealing 16 cents at Bet Online this season. If you are not a member there or do not have an account, I highly recommend it, and hit me up at the real _G Warner across any social media platform, and I'll get you a link to sign up, because it'll get you more money on the site, and it's a great spot to increase your odds of winning in a really tough sports betting landscape. Total in this one's 2.25, juiced very heavily to over. Burnley, to me, they are a newly promoted side with some money and some NFL backing from JJ Watt and company. I I just don't know how they score goals. They've been very defensive. The market's been fairly against them for a while. I think I inflated this line a little bit more than I expected to, which makes me lean to Burnley a little bit. I expect this number to be where it is, but the total, it's a little lower than I made it, but it's getting odds right now at under 2.25. I think we see a low scoring game, and that's what Burnley knows they have to play to try to stay in this league. And Fulham have not played very well for a lot of the season, and even though I've been backing them a fair amount. Arsenal then hosts Wolves. Currently Arsenal 2.25 goal favorites with a little bit more juice on the Wolves disaster that is in the Midlands in England. In terms of the total in this one, we have a full 3 available, which is right on the dot. It's 3.00893 is what I made it. So we're pretty close. Maybe certainly not a lot of value for an under player, though I made that about -110, and I'm seeing +101 odds on under. So that's a big interest for me. I think the side is probably less attractive. I'm not sure that Wolves will be able to score, which they need to hang in this game and make it competitive to make the total of interest. So I think bigger interest is under 3. I could see some interest in Wolves, though going away from home, that's a really, really tough venue to go into. And I just don't necessarily know if I believe that. I do like the push on 3, though, and would love to get 3.25 if it climbs. Moving to Sunday, we'll have a lot of matches, 3, 4, we have 4 of them Sunday, 8 a.m. Central Time. We'll start with Sunderland hosting Newcastle. Currently Sunderland quarter goal underdogs at home right now with almost all the juice. Total in this one is 2.5, and it is juiced pretty heavily to unders. So that all kind of reflects the match that I'm expecting, which is going to be dictated by Sunderland. Newly promoted clubs, that's kind of rare that sort of thing would happen, but they've been so good so far this season. Newcastle's been pretty bad away from home. I'm very interested in Sunderland and betting them. Potential ultimate best bet, like that quarter of a goal, like under 2.5, and it correlates pretty well to home underdog. Moving next to Nottingham Forest hosting Tottenham. Currently a pick'em, almost all the juice, or actually all the juice on Nottingham Forest. We have +102 on the Tottenham side, maybe climbing towards that quarter of a goal, which is what I made it, was sort of expecting. Total in this one is 2.5. It is juiced very heavily to under, and it should be, because Tottenham have shown no form of offense in a long time. Their manager's been a lot more conservative than he should have been. And Nottingham Forest have kind of hit a stride under Sean Dyche, or at least it started well, and they get a team that is not likely to threaten them just based on poor strategy. And I wonder if that's going to be corrected, but it hasn't yet. The line certainly doesn't reflect that. I like the home team and the home underdog betting against Tottenham there. Next, we'll move to West Ham United. They're hosting Aston Villa. Currently, West Ham a half of a goal underdog with all the juice right now. Total in this one is 2.5. And it's juiced very heavily to over. So that tells me not a lot of goals are expected. I think that reflects both West Ham's struggles or their conservative manager and also Aston Villa's really strong defense, and maybe you could argue inability to score away from home. They played Europa League midweek. West Ham have been preparing for this matchup. I think that levels the playing field. West Ham is better than the results have been so far, but once the team starts rotting, it's never really a good situation to be in. I'll lean to the home underdog, but strongest interest in the under 2.5. Probably get 2.75 before kickoff at 8 a.m. Central Time on Sunday. Move next to Crystal Palace. They're half a goal underdogs at home to Manchester City, where they play better than any place in this world, though they've been better away from home this season. A lot of that's kind of explain their lofty position in the table potentially, and especially interesting juggling multiple competitions, which they've never really done before. But Crystal Palace, even money, home underdog of +1/2. All the juice on Man City, probably see that climb to 3/4. Total is 2.75, and it's juiced all the way to over. Probably see this move to 3. I don't know that I'm so interested in playing under here till it gets to 3. Even then, it's not exactly what I'm hoping to do, is play against Man City with trying to want a low-scoring game. But I do think that Crystal Palace can get a result at home. Strongest is +1/2, and I think we see that climb to 3/4 before kickoff. I love Selhurst Park. Selhurst Park is one of my favorite places. Do not look it up for those of you that were looking at me. Took a second for me to bring it up, but I'm running on empty at this point. Next, we'll go to the last match on Sunday. We have one on Monday, then we'll give an ultimate best bet nominee for the later in the show portion. Brentford, they're half a goal favorites to Leeds right now. Almost all the juice on Leeds. It's interesting because it's a little bit cheaper than I made it. Brentford have been so good at home. 2.5 is the total in this one, and it's juiced pretty heavily to over. I don't know that there's much I want to do here with Leeds, I got to admit. they, to me, are a play at home type of only team. And I don't know, like I said, that I want to get too involved. We'll move now to Monday, and we have Manchester United again playing Monday Night Football and probably killing the ratings over there in the UK. They're a half a goal favorite to Bournemouth with most of the juice on the Manchester United side, surprisingly. Total in this one is 3, and it's juiced even, minus 108 both ways, and that's an example of the 16 cents that BetOnline are offering. Manchester United is a team I want to be against, so I have no real shame in thinking that Bournemouth are getting too much value here, and I don't really see avoiding this one. I think under and underdog here, especially if Manchester United is going to get believed in every week. I don't believe in it, and I don't think you should either. So for the best bet from the English Premier League on this episode, I don't think we're going that fast, but it feels like we've moved a little bit. I'm going to go with, as the dryer finishes, great timing, perfect right in the background. Love that. From the English Premier League, since that's what we just talked about for so long. Don't have the +1 yet at Brighton. It's probably available, expensive prices throughout the marketplace. So that's of interest. I think Burnley Fulham is probably the biggest one I want to target on Saturday. It's under 2.25 would be my best bet in that matchup. We'll now move to Spain. Let's check to make sure the audio is working. Thanks to those of you that are here live. Sometimes the thing will pop out. I want to make sure that hasn't happened yet. So let's check in with everyone over there. Thank you for the live streamers, especially late night, because I'm exhausted. I'm sure you are too. We'll start on Friday with Real Sociedad hosting Girona. Currently, Real Sociedad 3/4 goal favorites. Juice is pretty heavy on the Girona side. The total in this one is 2.5, a little bit more juice to over. So Real Sociedad have been starting to play better. It all really kind of turned around in their Basque Derby victory against Atletico Bilbao. They've been scoring some goals, and that's a little bit dangerous, especially if Girona started the season so poorly and look like they're in big relegation danger. I think for me at this point, I'm still interested in fading the Real Sociedad offense. It's not as comfortable as it was before. I almost think I need a full goal of insurance on Girona. It doesn't look like we'll get that. The total at 2.5, though, is a little bit more interesting. Still lean under 2.5 until Real Sociedad fully break out. We'll move to Saturday. We'll start with Atletico Madrid hosting Valencia. Currently, Atleti a 1.5 goal favorite, a little bit more juice on their side. Totals 2.75, juiced more to under. So Valencia, I really had high hopes for coming into the season. They've not delivered on those a lot because they can't score goals. That certainly points to under 2.75. Atleti are also a big favorite that I don't think they deserve, but I'll probably be able to get my way, keep my eyes off that one. Mallorca then hosts Elche. As Elche, one of the big darlings of La Liga so far this season, will have to travel to the island, the Balearic Islands, the Islas Balearicas. Currently, Mallorca, quarter goal favorites. All the juice is on Elche, though. I wonder if this one falls to pick them. I don't think it will, though Mallorca have been really poor this season. Lean to that quarter of a goal, and I lean to under in every Mallorca match. We have under 2 in this one. It's all the way juiced to over. I think we see 2.25, though I think a 2 is fine with me. Just don't want to lose that because I'm not a 1.75 type of total player if we're going the under direction. To the next matchup, Barcelona hosting Osasuna. Currently, Barca a 2-goal favorite with almost all the juice right now. It is 3.75 on the total, juice almost all the way to, actually all the way to over. I think a 4 is coming. I don't trust Osasuna away from home, though. Barcelona's defense, I don't want to mess with either. So I think that's a skip. We'll move now to the kit I'm wearing in this episode, Getafe from the Spanish suburbs. Didn't know they were at home, but forgot they were at home. But it's appropriate considering they're probably going to wear something very similar to this kit. They're hosting Espanyol from Barcelona, Catalunya, and they're really talented, and I love the way they've played, though they've had some discrepancy away from home, as most teams do. I like the quarter of a goal on Espanyol. It's very juicy at the moment. Wonder if we lose that and it falls to pick 'em. Here we have a 1.75 total. I'll be waiting for the 2 to pop, but I don't think it will. I'll be waiting in the bushes looking for that one. We'll move now to Sunday. Sevilla hosting Real Oviedo. Sevilla half a goal favorites with more juice on the Oviedo side. Total in this one is 2.25, and it's juiced pretty heavily to under right now. Not looking like we're in danger of losing the 2.25, but Real Oviedo are going to go on the road and try to kill this game from the beginning. They know they can't score goals. Sevilla have been a little bit better, but they're still not great. Under 2.25 is my biggest interest in that one. Celta Vigo then hosts Atletico Bilbao. Currently Celta, I pick them with 2 cents more of juice, minus 111 to a minus 109. No 16-cent La Liga lines here. And even as a big sponsor, which BetOnline probably should change. If anyone's listening, holla at them. Or thanks for listening. Appreciate you supported the podcast and the sponsorships from a couple seasons ago. Celta as a pick'em, I'm interested in because they've been playing much better football. Athletic Club are getting healthier, but they've had extra matches to play, trying to get ready for the Spanish Supercopa in whatever blood oil country that's in. Totals 2.25 in this one, and I don't really trust Athletic Club to score. So home team and unders of interest. I think probably home team pick'em probably more interesting to me. Levante then hosts Villarreal in a Valencian derby of some sort. Two of the smaller names, far smaller than Valencia, but Villarreal playing really well in Champions League and up in the La Liga table, while Levante just got promoted again and are doing their best to hang. Levante 3/4 goal underdogs here with almost all the juice on Villarreal. Makes me think we might get a full goal of insurance before kickoff. I'll be looking out for that one. I still believe there's going to be low scoring Villarreal matches. There haven't been as many as expected so far this season. Under 3 is of interest for me there. To Sunday, Alaves 1-goal underdogs to Real Madrid at home. All the juice on Alaves right now. And the total is 2.75, juice pretty heavily to under. We've seen Real Madrid really struggle with scoring goals in the past in the Basque Country, specifically in not the Montilivi, it is the something. I'll look it up. Alaves stadium name. Mendizorroza, I believe. Let's see. Mendizorroza, and does not look like that's how it's pronounced. What version of how it's spelled? But here we are. I'll lean to the home underdog and that big under 2.75. So I probably want a 3 to play, even though there have been some low scoring matches. Physical Alaves side. Just hope they keep every man on the pitch and don't get any red cards or things like that. Moving to Monday, Rayo Vallecano are a pick'em at home to Betis, which is a little bit surprising. It's pretty respectful for Rayo. They have not been as great this season. And honestly, Real Betis have been really good. The problem is Real Betis are one of the score goals and Rayo are not going to. I would generally trust Rayo here, but like I said, I've been a little disappointed. They've been struggling, I think, to balance the Conference League with La Liga play. And Real Betis have been playing well despite not having their stud Isco for a lot of the season. So we'll see what that ends up look like, how the lineups are coming out and things of that nature. I'll lean to Rayo, would love them as an underdog and would love that total higher if I was going to play it under. As for a best bet in the Spanish La Liga, I'm going to go with Elche quarter goal. I'm interested there because they're going to try to dominate the game. My question, though, is maybe total is better here. Yeah, Mallorca, they play so much better at home. There's very little insurance, and Elche are probably going to fall to pick them at some point, which shows the disbelief in Mallorca. Plus money on under 2. I'll go that way for Elche and Mallorca under 2 goals. We'll now move to Italian Serie A. I'll check the chat, make sure everyone's good. No complaints about silence. That's good. Move now to a Friday matchup. Lecce hosting Pisa, and this is the first locked-in play of the weekend. So bonus for all of you that are listening live on Thursday night, after Thursday night football and such have ended in the United States. But Lecce and Pisa, two of the low-scoring teams in the league. Lecce currently a favorite, all the juice on Pisa away. That tells me there's a lot more respect or disrespect for Lecce's goals, more respect for Pisa, a newly promoted side. I'm not sure they can score either. Total is 2, just all the way to under, but I'm grabbing it before it falls to 1.75. It's not really a traditional thing in Serie A like it is in Spain, but I think it will happen here. Move now to Saturday. We'll start with Torino hosting Cremonese, and I don't really see a lot of goals in a lot of these matches across Serie A, I'll admit. So Torino are half a goal favorite. All the juice on Cremonese away. Total's 2.25, and it's juice more to under. Now, Cremonese have been awesome, far surpassing. I mean, started with a win at Milan and their return to the Serie A. I just don't trust Torino to score goals. Torino have had no offense for years, and I don't think they have the right manager in place at the moment. Cremonese under 2.25 goals. They're going to be competitive, and I think they're going to do it by keeping Torino's offense very quiet. Move next to Parma hosting Lazio. Currently, Parma quarter goal underdogs at home with all the juice on Lazio away. Total in this one is 2.25, and it's juiced very heavily to under. Like I said, I'm not as interested in the home underdog, but I love those. Joe Dollar, longtime Patreon subscriber, patreon.com/realgeorgie Warner will always tell you. But under 2.25, big interest for me in that one. Lazio's offense worries me a little bit, but I think Parma at home, ride a crowd and keep it low scoring because they need to, because they can't score. Atalanta then hosts Cagliari in the nightcap on Saturday. Atalanta 1.5 goal favors, all the juice on Cagliari away. Total in this one is 2.75, and it's juiced slightly more to over. Cagliari have been really good at keeping low-scoring matches at home. It's been a little bit harder for them away. Atalanta brought in Raffaele Palladino, former Fiorentina manager, and also of Monza, who have been relegated since he left and his first season gone. They want to score goals, but Cagliari are going to try their best to try to keep them off the scoreboard. I lean to under 2.75. Would love to get a 3 before Saturday evening match in Italy kicks off. Moving to Sunday, Milan hosting Sassuolo. Currently Milan, a 1.25 goal favorite with a few cents more juice on the underdog. Total in this one is 2.5, and it's just very heavily to over right now. Sassuolo have been really good since looking very naive to start the season. I'll lean probably more to their plus 1.25, but under is also of interest to me because I think Massimiliano Allegri is going to go back to trying to win 1-0 matches, and that will win you 2 bets in this game. Udinese then hosts Napoli. Currently Udine, a half a goal underdog at home with more juice on Napoli away. We'll see if it's the David Neres show like it was against Atalanta. Total in this one's 2.25, just very heavily to under. I'm not a road favorite player, so I'm by default interested in the home underdog. Also lean to under 2.25, though Napoli's tiny totals, I mean, they've been winning, but we'll see if that continues. Move now to Fiorentina hosting Verona at the same time, 8 a.m. Central Time on Sunday. Fiorentina half a goal favorite with all the juice. Total in this one is 2.25, juice almost all the way to under. Verona have had no offense forever, but do their best, fight like heck, cover a bunch of spreads to stay in the league. I don't see much difference happening here. I mean, Fiorentina are in a relegation battle, and they've not been used to that. So road team and under, I think we see a very low-scoring game. Move now to Genoa hosting Inter. Currently, Genoa 1-goal underdogs. All the juice on Inter away. Total in this one's 2.5, juice pretty heavily to under. And I don't really want to play a road favorite here. I don't trust Genoa to score much, though they have a much more offensive manager in Daniele De Rossi after they finally got rid of Patrick Vieira, though I'm sad because that was a easy moneymaker playing unders with Genoa. That's my interest in this one, though Inter Milan's offense can certainly upset that, though I don't think they will concede. Bologna then hosts Juve in the nightcap on Sunday, the big matchup in Italy. Bologna currently a pick'em, all the juice on Juve away. It's crazy to me, though Juve played Champions League earlier in the week. Total is 2.25, juice very heavily to under. I think Juve are a far cry from the name that they suggest they are. So Bologna is a pick'em, always interested. I think they've been playing very well. Love their manager and love their depth. To Monday, the last matchup we'll discuss on the Serie A portion of the show. Roma hosting Como. Currently, Roma quarter goal favorites with almost all the juice. Total in this one is 2.25, juice more to the under. So Como have been competitive. This number, again, is far too small. I'm not interested in it. Don't really have much to do with the total either. And I'm not really a believer in Como whatsoever at this point in the season or seasons, while the market has loved them, betting them hand over fist for what feels like years and years and years. As for my best bet in the Italian Serie A, I do think we see a very low score game. Torino hosting Cremonese. I'll go under 2.25 as the unders are barking more than the dogs are so far on this episode. Let's check the chat, make sure everyone still can hear me, and then we'll move to French Ligue 1. Yes, SF4 SF9 or Y4B. He likes Milan money line. I mean, they're big favorites against Sassuolo. I'm not surprised by that. And certainly they could win that match, and we could both win our bets. It's a plus 125, and you need to win straight up. I just feel like Milan are going to hit a wall at some point. Maybe it's not here, but I think it's coming. We'll now move to France Ligue 1. We'll start on Friday with Angers hosting Nantes. Currently, Angers quarter goal favorites with all the juice. Total in this one is 2.25, and it's juiced very heavily to under. I don't really see how Angers could be a favorite, even though the market has hated Nantes for, 5 years now. Lean to the quarter goal underdog and lean to under 2.25, and I feel very strongly that these will make my card, though I don't have them just yet. Moving to Saturday, we'll start with Rennes hosting Stade Brestois. Currently, Rennes, a half a goal favorite with all the juice. Total in this one is 2.75, juice more to the over. So, Brest have been seeing a lot more goals in their matches. Rennes are a very defensive side, though, at this point. I think we see Stade Brestois try to keep this as low scoring as possible, and I'm not really interested in fading Rennes at this point unless the price continues to climb. Move next to Football Club de Metz. They are hosting PSG. Currently, Metz, a 1.75 goal home underdog with all the juice on PSG, likely heading towards 2. Let's see and check. I've not seen a 2 so far since I've been looking at it, but I think we will get there quite clearly. Total in this one's 3.5, and it's juiced more to the under by 6 cents. And a 6 cents would be seeing dead people if you back Mets in this one, even at home. Move to Saturday's nightcap. We have FC Paris, different than Paris Saint-Germain. They are hosting Toulouse. Currently, Paris, a quarter goal favorite with all the juice on Toulouse right now. Total in this one is 2.5. And I don't really believe in Paris's defense or them to score goals. So those are problematic things. They both go different directions for one to play an under. I do believe in Toulouse playing to their competition. That does worry me a little bit here with a newly promoted side, but I just haven't believed in Paris, and I think they're should not be a favorite as often as they are. I think Pick'em would make a lot more sense. It's heading that way right now, but I'll lean to Toulouse quarter goal underdog. Move to Sunday morning. Lyon hosting Le Havre. Currently Lyon 1-goal favorites. All the juice on Le Havre away. Total on this one's 2.5, just slightly more to under. And I don't know that there's a lot for me. Lyon have been playing so well in Europa League. They've been playing much better than expected in this competition. I think Le Havre +1 is the only way I could really go. I'm not sure I feel that strongly about it. Angers then hosts Lille. Currently Angers half a goal underdogs at home. All the juice on Lille, so probably moving toward the 3/4 goal mark. Total in this one is 2.5, and the juice is split both ways. So no real indicator on where that's going to go. I think I like Angers as a home underdog more than I like the total. And I don't think I really love totals because Lille's matches tend to have goals in them. They just haven't been as dominant as the favorite so far this season. And on the road, it's going to be hard to win. Moving next to Strasbourg hosting Lorient. Currently Strasbourg, 3/4 goal favorites. A little bit more juice on Lorient away as the love affair with a newly promoted that concedes a lot of goals continues. Total in this one is 2.5, just all the way to over. And that's not good for anything I want to play either. Lens then hosts Nice, and probably a match I made a line that was half a goal off, I think. That's very juiced on the Nice side. They're 1.25 goal underdogs coming off of their European play. Lens are not playing Europe, are playing very well in France. Nice are not playing well in Europe, not playing well in France. Total this one's 3.25, just all the way to under. I really just want to bet Lens, but I don't do favorites. Last but not least, in France, we have Marseille, a half a goal favorite to Monaco in a big match of a big name, both in Champions League. A little bit more juice on Monaco away. Total in this one's 3.25, just very heavily under. And again, I don't see a lot of value for me on this Sunday evening, afternoon in the United States, but Sunday evening in France card. For best bet nominee from the Ligue 1 in France, I'm going to go with Toulouse quarter goal underdog on the road at Paris. Check the forum chats that for those of you here live, and then I'll go into the German Bundesliga. I might as well load that now, and let's see anyone else coming in here. What do you say the Lecce game? So that thanks for reminding SF Niner Y4B. That was a bet I gave out on this show, one that I've already locked in. That is the Lecce under 2. Already played it, locked it in because I think we're going to see that fall to 1.75 across the marketplace before kickoff. It's expensive right now, but I'd rather have the 2 than take the risk of not making a play in that one. We'll now go back to the German Bundesliga, and then I'll try to wrap this up as I am gassed. We'll start on Friday with Union Berlin, Jose RB Leipzig. Currently Union quarter goal underdogs with more juice on the home team. Total in this one is 2.5, and the juice is split both ways. I don't really want to play under here because Leipzig have been scoring a ton of goals, but I think the home underdog is certainly worth it. One of the most difficult venues to play in all of sport, especially in soccer, especially in Germany. Eisern Union +1/4. We'll move to Saturday. We'll to the big lineup of games, all 3:30 local time in Germany, 8:30 Central Time in God's country in Texas. Though there's a lot of Germans here to say the least. Average height in this state feels like 7 feet. Hoffenheim, they're 3/4 goal favorites to Hamburg. More juice on the home team. Total this one's 3.25, and it's juiced very heavily to under. Now, the total is too high. Above 3 is usually a key number for me, to say the least. Hamburg have not been scoring, and they know they need to defend. The big question is how much will Hoffenheim score? They've been awesome this year, but I feel like their defense has been surprisingly good. So under 3.25, I think is my most comfortable in that matchup. FC St. Pauli, they're hosting, or FCSP, they're hosting Heidenheim in a true relegation battle. This is a relegation 6-pointer, was expected a couple seasons ago. These two teams have hung on, but both look like they're in danger of going down. For that reason, I'm interested in going against the home team, though they certainly should have a huge crowd out as they always do. Total this one is 2.25. I think we see St. Pauli try to dominate this game, keep it low scoring. Might be goalless, and that'd be really bad for the home favorite, but be great for the underdog and the under, which are certainly my leans. Moving next to Eintracht Frankfurt, Football Club de Augsburg, or just Football Club Augsburg. Currently, Eintracht, the 3/4 goal favorites with more juice on the home team, totals 3, and it's juiced more to under. Augsburg changed managers. I don't really know that I can play an under against Eintracht Frankfurt because they have not defended at all this season. They do have some talent, but Augsburg on the road are going to try to keep this as low scoring as possible. We have the push on 3. I'm interested in it. I'm not sure it'll make it onto the card, though. Borussia Mönchengladbach, who have come off the bottom, hired a manager after one rivalry game matchup win, after literally I mean, being as conservative as you could. I don't think that fits with Wolfsburg coming in. They've changed managers too, as everyone seems to be doing in Germany. Under 3, a little bit more juiced, but I'll take it there. Moving next to Bayer Leverkusen. They are hosting FC Köln. Currently, Leverkusen a 1-goal favorite, a little bit more juice coming off Newcastle in Champions League midweek. Köln, newly promoted, just trying to hang in. Total is 3 in this one, juiced all the way to over. And Köln are going to try to go out there and score. I am worried that Köln's defense is not showing up. Moving to Sunday, Sport Club Freiburg, quarter goal underdog at home to Borussia Dortmund. A little bit more juice on the Dortmund side. Total this one's 2 3/4, and it's juiced heavily to under. I'm very interested in the home underdog. I mean, Freiburg are not a goal-scoring team. It was awesome. They went up 2-0 on Bayern München in Bayern, and they've had some success there, relatively. Still have some heartbreak right on the top of my dome after Freiburg, I think, blew a 2-0 lead at home against Dortmund a couple seasons ago. I just don't think Dortmund, they haven't been as dominant. They've been winning matches. They've been performing well. But Freiburg, I'm starting to really like Julian Schuster, who took over from a god at Freiburg and Christian Streich. But they seem like they're getting results last year and didn't really deserve them. I think they deserve them now, and I like what I've seen from them. I think they can really bother Dortmund on set pieces and with their physicality. Moving next to Bayern München, hosting Football Club Mainz 05. Currently, Bayern a 2 3/4 goal favorite. All the juice on Mainz, and it should be because that's a gigantic number, but they are really struggling to balance Conference League and the Bundesliga. They've had big comebacks before. We'll see if post-Svensson is still around. Total in this one is 4, juice more to the under. I don't think I want to get in the way with Bayern with a team that's struggling, just trying to out-intensity you or something. To the last matchup we'll cover on this episode before we get to ultimate best bet. Werder Bremen quarter goal underdog at home to Stuttgart. Total in this one is 3, juiced all the way to over. And as for the side, a little bit more juice on the home underdog. Werder Bremen much better rested. They don't play in Europe, and Stuttgart played midweek. Fortunately, I don't know that there's a lot there that I want to get too involved with, but I do think that there's going to be some trouble in Stuttgart balancing competitions. They've been pretty good. They have a deep squad. They wanted to hold on to Nick Voltamata or Voltamessi, but he went to Newcastle. I think they've been reeling, but Dennis Undav has been hot. He basically stole a draw with a hat trick on the road at Dortmund earlier this year. I don't know. I mean, I'm interested in Werder Bremen, but it's probably one I should skip as well. For my best bet in the German Bundesliga, I'll go Hamburg on the road at Hoffenheim under 3 1/4 because I just don't think the number should have swelled above 3. And that does it for the German Bundesliga portion of the show. I've outlined everything, so I'm going to plug some things, then get to ultimate best bet portion of the show. Thank you all for coming in for the comments as well. Want to mention the NFL podcast with _Schnicker. It is on the Betting the Pitch podcast feed, Betting the Pitch on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify at the Real_G Warner on YouTube. We've been really hot lately, 5-1 last 3 episodes. I've won 3 straight after a horrible start to the season, and NFL's been treating us well. We'll be doing a college basketball episode, I believe, tomorrow with Big East Ben on the pregame.com podcast network. We have a new show coming out start of the year. And I will release more details on that coming up, but it will be a solo show and recording hopefully 5 nights a week. We'll then also want to mention the college football podcast. We went over the first round of the playoff games plus Army-Navy this weekend with XX on Twitter. That's on the pregame.com feed. You can find it pregame now on Twitter. Patreon.com, all the best way to see all my plays. Patreon.com/Real_G Warner. My plays across all sports. Try to get up there with like 10 minutes to spare. Bear with me as I'm running a lot of things, working jobs and that type of stuff, but trying to get it in your hands as quickly as possible. And I think it's now time for the ultimate best bet portion of the show. From the Premier League, I gave out Burnley under 2 1/4 goals, and La Liga in Spain, I like Elche under 2. Serie A in Italy, I like Cremonese under 2 1/4 goals. And Ligue 1 in France, aside finally, like Toulouse quarter goal underdog. And the German Bundesliga, I like Hamburg under 3 1/4 goals. But for the ultimate best bet on this show, it's just hard for me to get past a league that's really ignoring penalties in the box that are clear, obvious, should be penalties. If they don't call them the pitch, they're not giving them. And that is England. And that's something that's really great for my strategy, which is bet against goals. And that's certainly something I'm happy to do, want to do. And I think we see a low scoring matchup. Burnley hosting Fulham. I'll play under 2 1/4 is my best bet in that episode. For this episode, we are 13-7 and 1, 65% so far on the bets I have caught up on. We'll see you next week for some midweek action as we're rushing into the Christmas break. But it's been a great run. Hopefully all of you will win some money, and I'll see you all very, very soon.
Recording stopped.